Hi, everyone. I just got to say, before we do anything, I have never been so excited watching a wheel spin round on a screen. I mean, there are things I watch on Netflix that are nowhere near as exciting as that, so I just can't wait for season 2. Hopefully, it's coming later on today. So, before we get started, I have a quick question for you. How many of you believe that the more conversations you have in your business, the more money you're going to make? Give me a show of hands. Those of you who have your hands down, you're lying. If I could help you have more conversations today, do you think you can make more money today? How many of you are willing to take action on that? Oh, there's some people on the front row who know where this is going. Okay, go with me. I'm going to take you on a journey for the next 30 minutes, and we're going to try and make as much money as possible using WhatsApp. So I've got 3 things that I need you to do before we start. So everybody take out your mobile phone, please. You've probably seen this already today. This is the problem when your clients go before you. Scan the QR code on the screens. It's going to open up your WhatsApp. I want you to send me the word expert. And we're going to use this WhatsApp throughout the talk. I'm going to get you to interact with me so you can see how this stuff works. I want you to learn this in real time. I want you to see exactly how I do this in my business. I also want to set you a challenge to see how many WhatsApp notifications you can make me have by the end of the day. Have we got it? We've got it? Good. Nice to know. Nice to know we're here. Okay. Second thing I need you to do. We're not low energy. This is great. Second thing I need you to do is I want you to take a selfie for me. You get a bonus point if you can take a selfie with somebody else. And you get another bonus point if you can get me in it. Hi. Hi. Stop moving. I'm here. We got it? Has everyone taken a selfie? Nice. Okay. Are we ready for number 3? This is where the laughter stops. I want you to open up your WhatsApp. And I want you to send that selfie to somebody. If you sent it to me, send it to somebody else. I want you to send that selfie to somebody with no context. Don't write anything. Just send it to them. Don't think about it. Don't put too much pressure into this. Just send it. So, this is the core principle of what we teach and how we get our clients to utilize WhatsApp. And hopefully you'll see just how easy this is by me just getting you to send some random selfies, hopefully to not strangers. So there are 2 core principles that I want to teach you today, and I want you to take these on board in every single thing we're going to do. So number 1, I want you to have more conversations. We've already talked about this. Conversations mean conversions. WhatsApp right now is the best conversational platform that exists. There is no platform like WhatsApp for having conversations. Hopefully, every one of you, or the vast majority of you that just sent that selfie, you've just triggered a conversation in some way. Somebody's going to reply to you. The most common response I get to this is, was this meant for me? But hey, it worked, right? If you've ever got a lead that's ghosting you, send them a selfie and watch them reply. When they come back and go, was that meant for me? You go, yeah, and so was the previous message that I sent you. By the way, when I WhatsApp all of you tomorrow, you better not ignore me, otherwise you're getting selfies. The second thing we want to do is we want to create a first-class experience. Now, here's the thing. You are all expert business owners. Whether you have imposter syndrome and you think, oh, I'm not, you are an expert. When you pop up into somebody's phone with a picture of your face, they are seeing you as an expert. Immediately, you are blowing their mind because you are there, you've chosen them, you are sending them something. So when we stick all of this together, we're going to generate more sales. There's a reason we do this. I'm going to the whiteboard. So I don't normally share this when I do these keynotes, but I want to share this with you guys today. Because when I figured this out, this was absolutely game changer for me. So, this is you, the expert. You have an amount of value that you give to your potential clients. And most of you, your value, I would say, is a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Do we agree? We're all 9s or 10s? Right. So let's say, I'll ignore the ones at the back that were thinking they're not. That's a Shari Teigman question. So if your value is a 10, how do we allow your ideal client to know that you are a 10 out of 10? Now, the problem we have right now in modern day marketing is your ideal client will perceive your value. So there's 2 factors that contribute to your perceived value, and they surround you in a ring. The first ring is your ability to communicate with somebody. I want you to have a think in your head. If you were to rank your communication skills right now out of 10, what would they be? Let's say, for example, this is a 7. If your communication is a 7, your perceived value to your ideal client has just dropped to a 7. They perceive you as a 7. And now, in the modern day, this is even worse because there's a second ring that surrounds you, and that is the experience you create for people, the way you make people feel when they interact with you. Let's say our customer experience score or our client experience score for the leads we're bringing in is a 5. Your perceived value is now a 5. How many of you have competitors that win business over coming to you? And you know you are significantly better than them, hands down. It's because they have a higher perceived value than you do. And I know that's harsh, but it's true. So how can we do this? How can we get you to have a perceived value of 10 out of 10? We're going to use WhatsApp. Now, I know it's after lunch. I know you're all a bit tired. So we're going to do the boring bit really quick, okay? Hold with me. 3 minutes, we're going to do the boring bit. Why WhatsApp? Why am I here talking to you about WhatsApp? People always say to me, can I do this in Facebook? Can I do this over the phone? Can I do this with email? The answer is yes to all of it. But there are a couple of reasons why we use WhatsApp. Here's an amazing statistic. 76% of adults would rather WhatsApp their friends or family than pick up the phone and call them. I said this to my mum at Christmas. I was like, Mum, can you believe this statistic? And she pulled out her phone and went, do you know when the last time was you called me? It was last Christmas. Ouch. But this is true, right? This is where we have our best relationships. So if we are having our best relationships in WhatsApp, then why are you not having relationships with your clients inside WhatsApp? Why are we not building that know, like, and trust there? For those of you who love data, here's some data. An interesting one for you here, though. 76% of British adults said they rely on WhatsApp. So what this means is 76% of people, or 79% of people, are saying that if WhatsApp didn't exist, their life would significantly change. That is insane. This thing, we are so reliant on that our life would change if it's not there. The average time that people reply to a WhatsApp message is currently 10 minutes. If you want to get a message out to somebody super fast, WhatsApp's the place. Here's the main statistic I want you to know. It just works. Just trust me. Let's just go with it, right? It works. Here's a campaign that we ran for one of our clients. So we had 300 leads. We were going to invite them to a webinar. So we decided to run 100 through email. We called 100 and we WhatsApped 100 of them. This is our data through email, which is pretty good, right? A 37% open rate on the email, and 4 of them clicked and signed up to the webinar. We'd be pretty happy with that. This is what happens with the other 200, or the other 100 that we called. 11 answered, 5 called back, so we got through to 16 people in total. And of those 16 people, 7 signed up to the webinar. Now, Expert Empires, I know you're really good at doing drum rolls, so give me a drum roll for what's coming next. We all know, right? Language. I heard that from here. 99% open rate. And 56% of those people signed up and took action. It works, right? Do you all believe me that WhatsApp works? Thank God. That means I don't have to keep talking about the boring stuff. So who am I? Why am I the one that's here talking to you? Why am I the person that I think you should actually listen to? So this is my previous career. So before I was on stage talking, I'm a commercial airline pilot. Was flying for Flybe until they entered administration in 2020. The world collapsed. I lost my job. It's like Panto. You've gone from being really compassionate. Like when I stood over there, you were not compassionate. Spin again. But this is what I learned. So this is what I learned during my time in the commercial cockpit. Here's an interesting thing for you. We use autopilot all day long. Autopilot is a massive part of how pilots run day-to-day life. But it's not for us. The autopilot's not there for us. It's not there to make my life easier. It does make my life easier, but that's not the purpose of it. The reason we have an autopilot is to make the life of the passengers way more comfortable. When I was at Flybe, we would fly flights every now and again where the autopilot was broken, and we'd be flying manually for 12 hours at a time. And we were never allowed to serve hot food or drinks on those flights. You know what it's like when you're driving down a motorway, you've been driving for 3 hours, and all of a sudden you just go whoop over the line, and you feel the... Imagine being at 38,000 feet and feeling the... There's a lot of gin and tonics going behind. But this is what I want you to take from that. Automation is there to make the life of your ideal client better. It will make your life better and your life easier, but we're going to automate for them. We're automating for them first and foremost. So when I lost my job in 2020, that's when I set up the business. And ever since then, I've just kind of not looked back. For those of you wondering, I'm that one. And now that I do this, I'm able to respond to people on autopilot. So I can have people coming into my sales funnel. I can be having conversations with people whilst I'm not even there. I'm not even at my office. I'm not at my desk. I'm not actually there. As a result, I managed to set up a football team for my daughter. If any of you have young children, imagine having 18 10-year-olds 3 times a week. But these incredible girls have just won their local football league, which is pretty impressive. But, and here's the thing, last week I closed a £10,000 deal in my WhatsApp whilst I was on the touchline at that football match. I didn't do it myself. So I created my own system, my WhatsApp sales and marketing flight plan. Original, right? And that's what I'm going to teach you today. So we're going from strategy now, we're going to go into tactics. And I want you to at least take one thing away from this that you can implement immediately into your business. Before we do, has anybody had a reply to the selfie? How many of you have had a reply? That was 10 minutes ago. How often do you get a reply to an email within 10 minutes? So when I built the sales and marketing flight plan, I spotted 3 problems that most business owners had, and I used that to turn them into an opportunity. So problem number 1 that I spotted is most businesses have a CRM full of unconverted leads. Does that sound familiar? How many of you have unconverted leads sat in your inbox? I mean, there's definitely more of you. So we're going to turn that into an opportunity. So this is pillar number 1. We're going to turn these leads into sales, or we're going to get rid of them. If they're not going to buy from us, we don't want them hanging around, right? So let's find out if they're the right fit for us. So this is a campaign that we run called our Quick Wins campaign. And we would tend to run it quarterly. We'd use it to unsubscribe dead leads. But the most important part of this whole process is that you must collect WhatsApp numbers. So if we're going to use WhatsApp as a strategy, we've got to collect them, right? So from now on all your signups, change your phone number field to WhatsApp number. Because then guess what we can do? We can WhatsApp them. How many of you work in an industry where you have gatekeepers that you've got to get past in order to make sales? What do you think happens when you ask someone for a WhatsApp number? What number do you think they give you? You're going to get their personal mobile phone number. I did a talk in January to a room full of head teachers. Head teachers never give their phone number, right? There was 100 of them in the room. I've got 98 personal phone numbers for all of those head teachers. We turned it into 56K in sales by going directly to the source. But we want to make this VIP, right? So this has to, remember we talked right at the beginning, we want to have conversations with people, but we also want to make them feel VIP. So if we're going to run a quick wins campaign, we're going to run a campaign to your list. What can we give them? Why can we incentivize them to have a conversation with us? So this was a client of mine, Sammy. She runs 5-day challenges. And as part of the 5-day challenge, you'll see at the bottom there, please give me a phone number for a VIP experience with me with extra tips. And all we do is every single day they get the video, we WhatsApp them with a quick voice note. Here's an extra tip that you wouldn't get anywhere else. And guess what we do at the end of that? We invite them to have a conversation. What questions do you have? How can I help you? Because that's what we want, right? We want personal connection. We want that one-to-one where we can feel like we're talking to real people. So if you can create that and have a think right now about what this could look like in your business. If you were going to go into your WhatsApp right now and go, who have I previously spoken to? Who have I built a relationship with, but we didn't quite get them over the line? What VIP experience can you create for them today that's going to get them over the line? And it really doesn't have to be complicated. Remember the selfie? I don't know if you guys know this person. Nikki James, very good client of mine, and good friend as well. When I very first started working with Nikki, we ran a WhatsApp campaign for her. And I love this, and I love this example because people always come to me and go, oh, but surely I need loads of phone numbers. Surely I need everybody's phone number in order for this to be able to work. We run a campaign for Nikki to 32 people. And 32 people signed up. Mad, right? How many of you believe that you struggle to collect phone numbers or that you would struggle to collect people's phone numbers? A few. If you could create a VIP experience, do you think they're more likely to give you their phone number? If you give them a reason, an incentive, a purpose to join. When you all signed up to Expert Empires, we sent you an email telling you that we had a WhatsApp concierge service. Surprise! Guess what we were doing? Creating a VIP experience, creating invitations to have conversations so that we can move you along to take the logical next step. By the way, I've seen quite a few of you take pictures. If you want the slides, just send me the word slides. Here's the one. If you take anything away from this talk, this is going to be the one I really want you to take. So problem number 2 that we identified that we used as part of our sales and marketing flight plan is that most businesses have an over-reliance on outbound email marketing or outbound marketing in general. We're just bombarding people, right? We're throwing content out onto social media. We're sending emails. We're sending DMs. We're calling people. Well, how about if we had a real slick inbound machine where people could actually come and talk to us? I've got an analogy for you. I want you to imagine that you're going out tonight, but you've forgotten to bring shoes. Damn it. So you need to go buy a new pair of shoes. So you go out of here, and there's a shoe shop that you really like. So you go in there, and this is what you see in front of you. Loads of shoes, not the right size, and there's only one of every shoe. So we need to try them on, right? We're all in agreement? We're going to try the shoes on before we buy them. So what do you do in that shoe shop when there's nobody there to ask? Leave. Do we all agree we're leaving? We're leaving that shoe shop? Just take it. We're back to the rioting again, aren't we? We've gone through here's the hard truth. This shoe shop is your online presence. If somebody lands on your website, your lead magnet, your social media, and they're in buying mode, so they're interested in what you have to sell, but they can't find the answers to their questions, where are they going? To your competitor who has a higher perceived value, because your customer journey is not good enough and you are not communicating fast enough. So they'll go to somebody who won't serve them as well as you will serve them because they perceive this bit to be better. So let's create inbound systems where people can come and ask you questions and get information from you. That QR code that was up on the screen right at the very beginning, you are now in my WhatsApp. That is my WhatsApp. So if you've got questions, guess what you can do? You can ask me questions because you're in there. And you can be really smart. You can stick this on your website. So that when people land on your pages and they have questions, they can get answers to your question. This went live about 6 months ago. And the number one question I get asked through my WhatsApp bot from this page is, how much is it? Can anyone spot the answer? Right? But this is the thing, people don't want to look for information. We live in a world right now where people just want unbelievably fast information. And if you cannot provide that information, they'll go to the person who can. So you can stick your WhatsApp number behind a QR code and put it on your social media. Put it on your social media banners. Put it on your email footers. Got a question? WhatsApp me. Put it on your website like that. It doesn't even have to be like that. Just take your number and stick it on there. If 78%, 79% of the population are relying on WhatsApp every single day, where are they going to ask you questions? They're not going to go, oh, I spend all day on WhatsApp. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to send an email. They're going somewhere else. So let's be that person who's there. Client of mine, Sammy Wonder, we put this onto her website, and within 31 days, we had 31 website inquiries, and this is what it looked like from a revenue point of view. Should we send another WhatsApp message? That guy can do it over there then. I'll come over and I'll help you. We'll do a one-to-one. Okay, get your phones out for me. I'm not going to go too hard on you with this one. I want you to find a friend or family member, ideally somebody that you maybe haven't spoken to for a little bit. Tell them you love them. And send it. Is that going to start a conversation? If it doesn't, you've got a problem. How are they going to feel receiving that message? It depends who you send it to. Please don't send it to me. So this is the thing. People always think, oh, this is going to be really hard. And don't get me wrong. I want you all to be using automation so that this just happens in the background so that you don't have to worry about it. But for those of you who are maybe just starting out, or you're interested to see how WhatsApp can maybe get you a result, what would happen if you had a client who was coming up to a renewal and you sent them a message that just said, hey, I just want to let you know I really appreciate you as a client? How much more likely are they to renew with you? Significantly higher, right? Conversational, make them feel VIP all day long. Has everybody got something they can do inbound? Have we all got an idea of where we can stick WhatsApp so that it's going to allow people to come in and ask you questions? Good. So problem number 3 that we stuck into the sales and marketing flight plan is a lack of effective follow-up. And the key word here is effective. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an automated follow-up sequence. So this does not matter how people enter your world. It doesn't matter how they come to you. They could come to you at a networking event. They could submit a form on your website. They could download a lead magnet. They could scan your QR code when you're on stage. It really doesn't matter. But we're going to create an automated follow-up so that we can reach them as soon as possible, so that we can start a conversation and do what? Create a VIP experience, first-class experience. So just 3 examples of how we can do this, or how we've been doing it with some of our clients: webinars, challenges, run surveys. If any of you use quizzes, this is amazing. If you run a quiz, send them a message straight afterwards. Hey, I just saw your result. How does that result make you feel? Where do you think you need some help? How can I help you? Stick voice in it, stick video in it. Send them a selfie. And this is why it's really important that we do it fast. So businesses that can follow up within an hour are 7 times more likely to close that person, turn that lead into a sale. Remember the shoe shop? How many of you believe you could actually reach a client? I'm not just saying send an email. How many of you could actually get into somebody's hand within an hour of them coming into your CRM? Perfect. You're going to love what's coming next. The magic 5 minutes. 100 times more likely to turn them into a sale. So I'm going to go back to what I said right at the very beginning. If you've got a competitor that's outperforming you and you know you are better than them, how fast are they following up? How fast are they getting into somebody's pocket? We've all been there, right? You submit an inquiry. If you don't get an immediate response, what do? We go somewhere else. We try and find the next best thing. We are unfortunately in a world where speed is the most important thing. Doesn't matter how good you are, how fast you are is what matters. So when we were talking about making this effective, if email open rate is 21%, is that effective? Is that an effective form of following up? Now, I'm not knocking email marketing at all. Please don't look at my stand. I'm not knocking email marketing. We do a lot of email marketing. We also do a lot of telesales. But we're talking about effectiveness of that very first touch point. So if I invest to stand on this stage and speak to you. If the first 2 rows are the only 2 rows that can hear me, I'm going to be pretty annoyed, right? I'm going to be asking Nick for a refund. But yet we do that every day with email marketing. Or with the phone. So why don't we meet them on a platform that we know they're on, where they're having their best relationships, and we know they're going to answer us? If I could guarantee you that between 80 and 95% of your leads were going to actually see your messaging, how much more money are you going to make? A lot more money. So this is our full system. This is how you make money on autopilot. By running regular quick wins campaigns so that you can regularly reach out to people that are maybe sat in your pipeline and ask them how you can serve them. We allow them to inbound us. We allow them to come to us and start conversations. And we make sure we're following up within that magic 5 minutes as much as possible. Here's a case study. A friend of mine, Nicola Lutz, did a 30-minute talk just like this. She captured 96% of the room on her WhatsApp and booked 24 sales calls within 24 hours due to having a real robust follow-up strategy. And this is what it looks like. This is the full sales and marketing flight plan. So we take them all the way through, 9 steps in total. So we can take them from meeting us at the very beginning, nurturing, engaging, we're going to qualify them, and ultimately we're going to move them towards the next sale. And you have all had the pleasure of being inside this. Expert Empires are running this system right now. Nikki James, who was on earlier on today, is running this system right now. How many of you loved that when Nikki told you to scan the QR code to get a blueprint, and you got a personalized blueprint for your stage of business? Well, surprise, surprise, guess what's just happened behind the scenes? We know what phase of business you are in. And we can now send you a tailored follow-up based on where you are. So when you nail this down, this is super, super powerful. So I want you to just take one thing that I've told you today, one of all of those strategies, and implement it into your business. And I can guarantee you, if you implement just one of those things, you're going to make more money in the next 30 days. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you all. Scan the QR code and come and have a chat with me on my stand. Thank you very much.